Hey there, guys. It is Rachel Feldman. I'm the proud owner of YourHealthCoachBiz.com, where we create content, freebies, signature programs, workshops, challenges for health and wellness coaches. I have to say, it's been a while since I did a live. Let me just turn my phone off. And I wanted to kick off 2022 with talking about overwhelm. So many coaches come to me and say that they feel extremely overwhelmed, whether they are brand new coaches or whether you're in that growth stage of your business. And it can take a lot of time to do our social media, can take a lot of time to figure out what content ideas to have. So what I wanted to do today was to show you how simple it is to use a PowerPoint to find content ideas. What I'm going to do is go over a few different niches. I'm going to start with a repair your period workshop. And I want to just show you that it doesn't need to feel overwhelming to plan your content. It doesn't need to feel overwhelming to even take the captions from this content. So let me just share. And for those of you who haven't seen me in a while, I was taking a good amount of time to recover from adrenal fatigue, which has been something that I've dealt with for years. I know a lot of people who have had health issues like heavy metals and EBV, like myself, sometimes can go into burnout easily. So I took that time to just take care of myself. And so if you haven't seen me, that's what I've been doing. All right. So let's look at this workshop. I want you to just go through. I'm going to do a few, like this is great for, of course, repairing your period, coming off of birth control. I want to show you one that's like perimenopause or menopause. So we really hit a few different topics and one for gut. So right here, I want you to think of content idea number one. A workshop could even be turned into a freebie. That is a PDF. So if you were even thinking about sending out a newsletter, this would be great for you to bleed out videos over the month to even a newsletter. But I'm not going to take you away from the content ideas from a workshop, because if not, you know me, I will talk forever. So right here, we have how your period works and what a healthy period looks like. Why birth control does not repair or regulate your period. 6 powerful daily habits you can put into practice. Right there, those are 3 content ideas. That could be 3 videos. It could be a pre-recorded video that you put on YouTube. This could be a live that you do on IG or Facebook. These could even be a series of videos, you making this workshop into a series of videos so that you know exactly what your content is going to be with a video a week. This right here is another content idea. What is the menstrual cycle? So we go a little deeper into each phase. You, of course, can have this in a video. You, of course, could have this even in stories, but these content ideas for what is your menstrual cycle? That's number one. Could be number 1 video. What does a healthy period look like? Number 2 video or number 2 social media post. What do I mean by that? You can take exactly the content that you see right here, 21 to 35 days. Maybe you're actually going to combine what is a menstrual cycle and healthy period look like and take that content from the PowerPoint, which you can find on the slide version of the script, and then put that right into a post. Of course, with Instagram, it's going to be a little shorter than what you can do with Facebook. And then you get into common problems. That can be a whole nother post. What are the common problems? PMS, breast pain, moodiness, bloating, cravings, fatigue, headache, acne, sleep disturbances. That could be a pre-recorded video where you can easily just share this screen. This could also, of course, be a reel. This can be an Instagram post. This could be a Facebook post. You could even do this as a case study or a testimonial. So many of you have those, whether you're a new coach or in that growth phase. So think about all the ways that you can use that. No periods or irregular periods, same thing. We just talked about content types. Maybe that's your my why, like behind the scenes. What does it look like when you had irregular periods, no periods? What brought you to being the coach that you are today? So many of those different types of posts. So not only are we talking about your different types of posts, but now we're even talking about those different categories. This could be a success story, as I said. Heavier painful periods. What about birth control? You could have a whole nother little series on birth control, talking about what you wish you would have known before you got on birth control, some of the side effects of birth control and infertility. See how even just from one headline right here, can birth control repair or regulate your period, that we can all of a sudden come up with some other subcategory titles. Here's the scoop. So I want to then we go into the 6 powerful daily habits for periods. Eat a healthy hormone diet. This could be one with a great recipe or a call to action with a link to download a freebie, like our 5-day hormone detox or 3-day recovery hormone diet, or your freebie, or maybe it's a quiz from one of our protocols. But you could pair that also, as I said, with a meal plan, and it would be super awesome. Get the right nutrients on board. You could actually show the nutrients, do a behind the scenes kind of category post, whether it's a reel or a video. If this is starting to click, drop a 1 in the comments. This could also be just a post. Get the right nutrients on board. Copy and paste zinc, magnesium, we have a great headline, give a little intro, and you have a social media post. Sleep. So many, we see this trending everywhere I see this left and right on Instagram. Everyone's talking about their sleep. What do they do for sleep? What are the ways that you help your sleep? What are your favorite sleep remedies? So that could be a whole nother social media post, content idea. Movement of your body. We talked about those different categories. We talked about the types of post. All of a sudden you could talk about inflammation. You could talk about maybe what you did before HIIT training and maybe it didn't work and you're doing yoga or yin yoga. Could talk about improving insulin sensitivity with movement. Could even talk about the types of movement. Reduce stress. Show your breathing practice or do a little restorative or yin yoga. Affirmations. That could even be subcategories of different content. Affirmations. Do things that you enjoy. Show me all the things you enjoy on a reel. Learn how to let go of things you cannot control. So I think you're getting the picture, right? Then we have ditch the toxins. Show me your beauty care. Show me your natural household cleaners. People love to see what you're actually using. Do not drink out of plastic bottles. Show me your favorite glass one. Help me out. And I think that's the biggest thing that I want to just say, that I want to just show for coaches, is that too often we just step into that education mode when our ideal client really needs to get to know us. So when you take a PowerPoint, all of a sudden, you're not going to feel extremely overwhelmed. Like, what do I talk about this month? That same workshop, PowerPoint is just a PowerPoint that we do the workshop in. That same workshop could also be a masterclass that you have after somebody signs up for a one-on-one session with you to help pre-qualify them, to help them understand how you're different as a coach, and to get them to sign up for your one-on-one faster. Or it could even be a masterclass. Let me just see. Let me just see if anybody has any questions. Somebody's saying I'm having connective issues. Okay, you'll catch the replay. Now we're going to move on to another presentation. Because one thing I know, and some of the biggest struggles that I see with coaches and myself, is when we get busy doing our business, when we get busy list building and we're trying to figure out our strategy and we're content planning, we get tired. And when we get tired, we're not as creative. And so I want to show you exactly what we can do. Let's do the menopause workshop. This is a big one. Menopause, if I could spell it right. So same thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to look at even the handouts in this. I can do an entire series or a class on estrogen dominance. I can talk about estrogen dominance, but I also need to make sure that I'm informing my client that estrogen dominance can lead to weight gain. You're going to see right here in the content that we have anxiousness, cravings, dry skin, feeling overly emotional. Hello, perimenopause. Low thyroid function, hormonal ups and downs, hair loss. All of that right there can be individual. That can be a social media post. Those could even be content ideas. Like, what are some of the signs of estrogen dominance? And what I would do is make sure that I'm educating, but also talk about what estrogen dominance relates to, and then how to restore balance. That's an entire another content idea. I have a quiz right here. As I was saying, some of you might have a quiz. Here's even talking about menopause labs, all within this one piece of content. Why test? You see right here, you can talk about the different tests. I saw this the other day on a reel. I saw this also on a video. I saw somebody talking about Dutch test on a social media post. We want to educate, but we also want to connect the dots. And so when we have a PowerPoint to help guide us with our content ideas, it makes it much easier so we're not all over the place. So I'm going to go right to the beginning, understanding menopause, right there. That is content idea number one for my ideal client. My ideal client may know she's in menopause, but she may not understand how it affects her body on a myriad of different levels. Another ideal client who's exactly the same woman I'm working with, maybe she doesn't even realize she's in menopause, but she's having all of these problems, such as we saw hair loss, dryness in her skin, in her body, in her vaginal area. She's experiencing a lot of weight gain. She maybe doesn't even know the word perimenopause, but she can't understand why she's having these insane cravings. She can't understand why her sleep's an issue. So all of a sudden, talking to her about the signs of perimenopause and menopause are important. This could be an entire video leading to a quiz. So you could have the content piece wherever you're putting that. Again, let's recap. Instagram post, Facebook, YouTube video. You could be doing this in your group. Maybe you're actually looking at using a workshop to have content ideas to have in your group. And then you're actually doing this as a masterclass in your group, bringing people to, of course, either your one-on-one, a low-cost option, or your higher ticket. She might be having this discomfort during sex and doesn't even realize this is one of the issues. So even having a whole nother video on discomfort during sex. We could have a whole nother video on irregular periods, talking, as we said, in the different content categories, behind the scenes, a success story, my why, showing actually a program or showing your freebie or showing this workshop. Those are also content categories. Are we understanding content category versus a content type? So drop a 2 if you're not understanding, or even say in the comments, I don't understand. I need you to explain this to me, because I can always find a document. When you don't have a period for 12 straight months. You could even talk about how do you know when you're in menopause. 3 ways to boost hormones. Those are 3 different videos. See how it lays it out? You can talk about adrenal health. That's a whole nother video. You could also talk about a menopause hormone diet. What does that look like? What is a healthy diet? You could even, attack, and I don't want to say this in a negative way, but the way we create viral content is to talk about some myths, and each one of you have your certain way of coaching. So you might find that, no, a woman, or you might believe that a woman who's in menopause should not do intermittent fasting, or she shouldn't do keto, or she should. Talk to me about why. Talk to me about the foods, why in your approach, in your specific business. This is how we start to separate ourselves from everyone else, is we show that information, but we connect those dots with showing that in my business, I don't believe that a person should do this for the following reasons. And this is what I do believe. Then we have foods for hormone health. Show me a recipe that has ghee on it or coconut oil. This has, of course, grass-fed butter, duck fat, avocados, hemp seed, salmon. I just actually had avocado toast. Phytoestrogens, you can do a recipe. You can actually do a behind-the-scenes cooking with you, or even shopping. Iodine foods, show me maybe what is your favorite one to buy. Collagen, show me a smoothie, or show me like a protein ball that you've put collagen in. Dim foods, explain to your ideal client what dim foods are and why they are so crucial for hormones. Cultured foods, natural menopause medicines. We have essential oils, herbs, Now we're talking about toxins, toxins everywhere. Mindset, menopause and weight gain. Do we see, and what I really want to explain to you is that you can see from just the content topic titles that all of a sudden you can create that amazing content with ease. Now let's do one on gut, because I think there are many different gut peeps here. And this is just workshops. This isn't even a freebie copy and pasting. So let's go to gut microbiome. This is one of our gut workshops that is also in our 12-month gut membership. Now, this has a guide. So going and actually using this would be very easy, because you would, I think this is the old one. Give me a second. 2022. Okay, sorry. I had redesigned the look of it, and I wanted to just get the one that was most current, because I think the PowerPoint flow is better. I'm going to show you the guide that I was just, but we're going to look at the PowerPoint for a second first. Why do I do that? I do that because we are visual learners, just like our clients. The reason I love workshops, the reason I love pre-recorded workshops where you screen share, you don't have to screen share for the whole time, or even making a reel showing some of the PowerPoint, is that I do think people are it's much easier for people to visualize, or even taking a PowerPoint and turning it into a PDF. So right here, let's talk about gut microbiome. This is, do you have any of the symptoms? GI problems, yeast infections, weight, joint pain, allergic reactions to everything, sinus problems, reoccurring illness, sugar cravings, autoimmunity. You could add definitely a whole nother section there if you have it, or if you have more that you want to add. Talk about mood, weight. So right now it's like, what do you experience can be video content piece number one. Content piece number two, let's dive deeper into the mood. It was one, weight. 3 is hormone, skin issues, food cravings, inflammation. 6, immune is 7. 8, right there we have 8 ways that your microbiome can be affected. So that could be its own content piece. You could, of course, bring in the different categories, a case study, a client success or testimonial, my why, behind the scenes of my program, or looking at behind the scenes of a workshop, behind the scenes of actually what it's like to rebuild your microbiome with you. What did you do? Your why, taking them really into your business, into your office. These could also be their own individual ones, individual content pieces. The gut microbiome influences your food choices. For example, yeast thrives on sugar. If the ratio of good to bad bacteria in your gut is not optimal, can lead to extreme sugar cravings. So maybe you want to actually bring in sugar. Talk about inflammation. What does inflammation look like? How it shows up in the body, the immune system, allergies, how to give the gut microbiome a boost. That would be a great YouTube video. That would be a great headline for a social media post. I would stop at that, because the whole reason that our ideal client actually stops their scroll and looks is because it is solving a problem. Now, you might find that your ideal client doesn't know what gut microbiome is yet, and you might have to do a few more introductory videos on what is gut microbiome and relate it to, are you experiencing any of the following? Let me introduce to you what gut microbiome is. So right here, how to give the gut microbiome a boost. This could be an entire come into my home. Let me show you how I give my, gut microbiome a boost. Want more gut health tips? That one's a little shorter. But you might find that you want to talk about leaky gut. Let's take a look at this one. If I can find it. No, that's a protocol. Yep, here's one. I think this one is it. So you could talk about what to expect. So the symptoms of leaky gut, how to help leaky gut, digestion and leaky gut basics. Do a few introduction videos on leaky gut basics. Leaky gut is a condition that occurs when the integrity of the gastrointestinal tract has been compromised or damaged. Take this content that you have and actually talk about leaky gut. I used to explain it where I would say to my client, or even on a video, imagine that you're looking through a screen. Those little holes are the leaky gut. So find a way to actually take these big terms and explain them to your client. Talk about what that digestive system is. Leaky gut happens in your small intestine, how it happens. So how do we actually have leaky gut? The health of the GI tract could be another one. But you might find when we get into these, what I call words that people don't exactly know, you might find that you focus more on your content pieces on talking about some of the problems. What are the problems that your ideal client's struggling with? Irritable bowel, celiac, colitis, Crohn's, chronic fatigue, inflammation, skin issues, fibromyalgia, cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, autoimmune, mood disorder, migraines, asthma and allergies, inability to lose weight. You might find that actually doing a workshop, doing your content ideas on some of those topics become that much more advantageous, because when we come to our clients and we're doing content, sometimes our clients don't actually know the words that we're actually using. And so it takes going through that workshop and actually turning that maybe into a master class where you're finding out exactly what the words your ideal client will identify with, and then teaching them those bigger words so that you're not just talking microbiome, leaky gut, while maybe your ideal client only knows that they're dealing with nonstop allergies or sinus issues, which that could be a content piece. So I wanted to just keep this short and sweet. I hope that seeing the screen and kind of looking how you can use a workshop has helped. Let me just see if there's any questions or comments. Someone saying these are really helpful to use the workshop sections as content posting. And also, I would say the last part is make sure that you're going on YouTube. If you start to enter, we'll even use the microbiome or leaky gut, like how to fix leaky gut, you're going to see that they will come up with a number of different videos that are the highest interacting videos. And you can start to see great headline titles, because those great headline titles are the difference between your ideal client stopping at that video or continue to go. The last part that I want to say in just content is what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. It can feel extremely overwhelming to feel that we have to post on all these different social media platforms. So the faster that you learn how to repurpose a piece of content, the easier it will be. The reason I love workshops or I love videos is, one, our ideal client really gets to know us through video. Number two, just like I said, a workshop can be used as a way to pre-qualify your ideal client before they get on a discovery call. So you might find that you're using the workshop to create your content pieces, but you're also putting together that masterclass or a shortened masterclass, like a 15-minute. So you're saying to your client, hey, before we get on the phone, I would love you to watch this so you can find out why I talk about gut health, leaky gut, and the microbiome. And they'll be able to really go through that workshop and understand what it is that you do. Of course, at the end of that 15 minutes, you're going to really talk about, this is the kind of work that I do. This is what some of my clients have experienced. The third is that you can take this workshop, do an intro where you're not screen share parts of it. It doesn't have to be the entire class, but you can find that you're actually taking that video and then repurposing it where you have a pre-recorded video, or you're doing a live, you're downloading that live, you're uploading that to YouTube. You maybe are taking only a portion of it and doing a reel with it. But when you have those content ideas and you have the plan, then you actually don't feel as overwhelmed because you know each week what you're going to talk about. So with that being said, it was a pleasure to be here with you guys. It's been a while since I've been doing these lives, but I'm so excited to be here with you today and to get back to them. If you have any questions, pop them below, and I hope that you have an awesome one. Bye, guys. It was great to see you.